Office of Entrepreneurship and Innovation in Arizona State University, and I'm here for the Innovation Through Design Thinking project with Verizon to teach you how to change the colors of our portfolio template in PowerPoint. So if you've seen the PowerPoint template, you've noticed that it is very, very pink, which could be perfect. But let's say, for example, you want your app to not be very, very pink. That is fair. That is up to you. And I want to empower you to change all of the colors in the template at the same time, instead of having to go through and change every single color individually, right? So first, let me show you what I'm looking at. And it is this. Okay. Here we are. Here we are. So this is PowerPoint for Mac. Unfortunately, the PowerPoint for Mac has not changed in the past 5 years. While PowerPoint for PC has been getting better, PowerPoint for Mac has been staying exactly the same for 5 years. So if you're on a PC, it's going to look different, but you're going to have the same features somewhere, right? So up here we have tabs. We've got home, themes, tables, charts. I'm going to go to themes. I'm going to click on colors, which gives me a drop-down menu. And as you see, I can change these colors to anything I want. This is ASU brand colors, all right? But it's kind of ugly. What about this? It's a little better, but it's not great. What about this guy down here? Wow. Okay, so as you can see, as I change the colors here, under colors, all of the colors change across the entire theme, even though it doesn't look like they do all the time, right? So these are green when they used to be this pink color, right? So everything's changing. The times, they are changing. But sometimes some of them don't change, right? So you can, you might have to select those individually and say, hey, I want those to be a different color. You would do that under Format tab, and I want that fill to be, wow, whoops, that is wrong. I want that text to be bright pink. I like bright pink. I think it's good here. Right? So you might have to change some of them individually, but for the most part, everything just changes. So how do we do this intentionally so that we know which colors are changing when, right? Ooh, that's wrong. That's not what we want. We want that one to be lighter, right? Okay, so there's a real easy way to do this, and it involves creating theme colors. So I've prepared a little bit of a cheat sheet here for theme colors, and it looks something like this. So here is our cheat sheet, and this helps you know what color does what. So you can see I've got a screen capture of the different names of colors that you create when you're doing a color theme. So dark 1, light 1, dark 2, light 2, right? And it tells you what those colors are used for in the theme. So dark 1 is the color used for text when you have a white background. If for some reason you wanted all of the text in your portfolio to be dark blue or dark gray, which I think are not bad decisions, maybe even dark green, you could do that here. I would not change that color to a light gray or a bright green. That might be very hard to read. So always think about how easy the information is to process when you're changing these colors. So as you can see, dark 1, okay, so let's say in this instance, we're gonna select dark 1. You see if we click on stuff, it selects it. And we're gonna change that color to dark blue. Now, how do we do that? Right now it's all black. If we slide this slider all the way down to white, we get to see all of these beautiful colors. I like this one, but that's still a little too bright. I'm gonna make it something we can easily read, like this navy right here. Okay, cool. And now for my highlight color text, dark 2, as you can see if we come into this color thing, dark 2, this color is used to emphasize text on a white background. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you see here, the survey questions are in pink. It says survey and the questions are in pink. That would be this text here. So let's say we don't want it to be pink. We want it to be a nice orange color, a kind of like bright tangerine, grapefruit, orange. It's kind of pink, but it's different. Maybe coral is the color I'm going for. You know, something in this range, salmon maybe. Okay, so now I've got that as the salmon accent color. Now this accent color is also this part of the gradient on the pages that have gradients. So what we're going to want to do is make sure the other page side of the gradient is a color that works well with it. You notice before when we were just changing colors all willy-nilly, we got some really crazy gradients that probably were too distracting for what we were doing. So before then though, I'm looking at this accent 1 color. I'm not changing text background light 2. I just don't care. It's not in the theme anywhere. It doesn't change anything. If you want to store a color so that you can use it over and over again, that might be a good place to do it. But for now, I'm going to go straight up to accent 1. So accent 1 for me is a lighter version of dark 2. As you notice here in this area, I have canvas written, but when I wrote canvas originally, it was in this very dark pink, and it looked bad. So I created this lighter pink for instances where the heavier pink was too overwhelming. So in this instance, I want it to be that, but lighter. So how do I do that? Well, there's this thing called hexadecimal code, and it's found right here, hex color number. So what you can do is you can take this hex color number and copy it, FF3B18. And I know I said number and there's letters in there, but hexadecimal is an interesting number system that computers can think in. And what makes it different is that it doesn't have 10 numbers in each section. So if you think we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 is just 1, 0. And we go 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. So this is a log 16 hexadecimal. And so we ran out of numbers. So now we have to go 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. So F is the highest number in hexadecimal code, right? So we're going to copy this FF3B18. Copied it. And I'm going to go to accent 1, and I'm going to paste it, FF3B18. Now when I pop back over, so first we have to get out of that box so it can show up. Now that we see the color there, we can go back over here and say we want it to be lighter. And lighter is just from here towards the center, right? Doesn't have to be too light. That's pretty good. I like it. All right, accent 2. Now accent 2 is this corner of our gradient on our color pages, and it's used in a couple of other areas, but mostly it's background. So basically we want to take this color and get something that complements it and is analogous. When I say analogous, when I'm talking about colors, I mean colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So complementary colors, if you see here, we've got, this would be bright red, and the complementary color for bright red is directly across from the color wheel. So this kind of cayenne blue, and this cayenne blue and this red really pop. If you notice on this color wheel, it's a little different than on paint color wheels. Normally red and green are complementary, like Christmas, as are orange and blue, which is a lot of sports teams, and then purple and yellow, also huge sport team colors, right? So complementary colors kind of work in that sense. For a gradient, we want to use analogous colors, and analogous colors are close to each other. So I'm going to get that other color in again, paste it, FF3B18. I'm going to hit tab so that the color shows up down here. Okay. Whoops. And now I want to find an analogous color. So maybe I'm going to move it over here, make it a little bit lighter, but not too far. We want it to be analogous. Okay. So I think this will work well, kind of a tangerine. Now the rest of the accent colors do not have an impact on automatically changing colors. They're just places where you can save stuff, and they will show up. They will show up if you do a graph or a chart, as you can kind of see over here. So you want these colors to be easy to tell apart. Right now I would say this color this color, accent 3, is a little too close to accent 1. So I'm going to try to make it different in a kind of interesting way. So I can now see these color differences here, especially on this side. I'm not going to change with the other ones. So the last one is hyperlinks. So hyperlink is if you're linking to a website, this is what your color is going to show up as. Currently, there aren't any of those in the template. So I'm going to leave it blue, but this is what happens after you follow the hyperlink. So if you're going to use links, know that they will show up in those blue and light blue colors once they're used. So I'm going to apply this to all and see what happens. All right. Something a little bit odd happened here in that this is now blue, which doesn't make any sense to me. So sometimes PowerPoint just messes up. And what we're going to do right now is just go in there and fix it. So you can see we've got this square selected. We got a format. We can say fill it red, which doesn't do us any good. I think it was black or dark gray. So that's black. Black's a little crazy. Maybe dark gray. Yeah. Or, I see what happened. What it did was it took this black color that we had for our background text and it made it this color. So walk back a little bit, turn that into a light gray. It happens. If we change it to green, it would have been green. But now as you see, all of those colors I chose are all over the place in here. This is kind of an obnoxious orange, the same way that one was an obnoxious pink, which I think was kind of good. It's good that it's that way. So as we're cruising through here, you can see some of these did not change. So we're going to want to go in and select those specifically. So that one changes. Come in here, and this is just normal. Sometimes PowerPoint can't handle the truth, so we're doing that for it. But this is way easier than going in and individually changing everything. So we have that going for us. Right? I think this one isn't changing because it's not the same across all the text. You'll find some other ones. We've got here who are users. All right, so as we see the ones that we've missed, we can kind of come through, identify changes that still need to be made. And that looks pretty good. All right, so we've changed the colors, and I'm pretty happy with that. We got these little orange bands around our people's heads. So what's the other thing we could do here? We could change the text in the same way. So if we click up here on themes, there's fonts next to it, right? So right now I'm using, using something with impact because I liked it. So as I scroll, new script and impact and Times New Roman. That's pretty cool. Let's say I wanted to use Rockwell though. See how everything changes, right? The downside here is when we change fonts, the spacing can get kind of bad. So we might have to come in and fix stuff, right? So maybe not Rockwell, maybe Arial Black. That's good. Right. So see how this is all changing. There are, unfortunately, I do not know how to change fonts to any font you want, right? So you kind of got to stick with what they've got. Arial Rounded, wow, right? So we've got a lot of options here, though. We shouldn't be discouraged. I'm going to find this impact font again because I liked it. Stick it with that. All right, so that shows you how to change your fonts, right? So yeah, all right. Thank you for taking time with me today. I hope that helps you get started on making this template look more like your app instead of the app that I kind of half put into it as an example. So enjoy.